There is way too much going on in the world right now. So I feel that I want to distract myself a little bit with doing a craft. I don't normally feel like I need to distract myself because of watching the news or whatever. I don't watch the news very often. But I feel that there are some things that have taken place that I feel I need to kind of distance myself from, because a lot of the things that have been distressing are not in my country. So my ability to impact another country is very small, especially because I'm not a privileged person. I think that's right. I it's not like I am really well known. It's not like I have a lot of monetary value. Yeah. So you're more than welcome to craft with me a little bit. I have gotten a paint by number kit or whatnot. I think it's called paint by number. Or no, sorry, it's not paint by number. It's paint by diamonds. Now, if you've never done these before, let me show you. Let me see. I have a blue here. They're like these little resin pieces. And on the canvas, there are these little marks saying that the resin pieces are to go in these parts in the canvas. Whoever was the first person to buy these thinking that they were actually diamonds, and I don't know if that ever existed, they were probably very disappointed, because this is not a big project as far as the paint by diamond thing goes. That thing. So this is not a big project. If they were truly diamonds, this project would probably be hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more. You're not looking at the resin pieces being that big, but there's still a lot of them. Basically, you're just putting pixels together. You know, when you expand an image, that's just a regular image, not a vector image, and you see all the pixelated little stuff, and you can do a lot of funky not video, but image editing if you look that close up, because you can make a whole bunch of interesting things happen. And you can create shadows where there is no shadows and whatever, because you might have an example to draw in. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that tangent any more than I did. This is basically putting pixels together to form an image, and each one of the resin little packets that you have is a packet of pixels, basically. So I'm going to start putting one of these together. You are more than welcome to craft along. Whatever your project is, you're more than welcome. So I'm wondering what I will start with. Usually I start with this end because then, well, if it's covered, it doesn't matter. I'm rethinking my strategy. Yeah, I'll start at the top corner, I think. Because then if I'm leaning on a piece, it's not like the saran wrapping or whatever plastic wrapping is gonna not be there to protect what's left. All right. So let me know what you're working on. Are you working on a brand new project like I am, or are you doing something that you have been working on for a while? So I want F. What is F? It's 945. That's this one. I know people that have little, like, they're almost like pill, what do you call those? Almost like a dosette. I don't know any other word for this. Basically, you know those things that hold medications for, morning, lunch and afternoon type thing, or before bed and whatever, and it keeps you organized as far as your medications that you need to take at certain times of the day or certain times of the week or whatever. It looked like one of those. And I know people that have gotten really into this that have maybe 100 of those little capsules, because you get a lot of different packages and you will have, and now I haven't seen this ever not be the case, but you will have things left over. Not necessarily every packet, because you're going to empty a lot along the way, but packets that have the same color, you might have, 50, 100 left, something like that. So I don't do that. I have painter's tape and I will close the packet. And then I'll just have a bunch of packets, and it might be messy as hell, but I currently don't have any medications, and I currently only do stuff like this every once in a while, so I don't know what to say there. I don't think I'm gonna have as much use over those dosette things as someone who this is their downtime activity. That's how I feel right now. I might feel differently later, but at least right now I'm gonna go with that. Alrighty. So let's get me loaded up. I have a pen here and I have little waxy stickums. All right. And this is F, yes. So We're supposed to get a thunderstorm later. I don't know how you feel about thunderstorms. I actually like them. However, I'm not good with sleeping through them yet. But I don't have that experience of being a child sleeping through those as much. Oops. I hope we get a good amount of rain. I mean, where I am, it has been really dry and there's lots of forest fires. Yesterday, actually, it was very smoky. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll try to find some royalty-free music that I can put in the background for this video. I probably said this a few times now. I still will look. I don't know if I'll be successful, but I feel like I've seen other people be successful, so I just have to find the way that they've done this. Come on. Oh, by the way, this type of craft that I'm doing right now, I will be finding little resin pieces on the ground for probably a couple months. Okay, let's move on to a different color. And I'll do my handy dandy So that's the next one. The next one is, there's a few different numbers here. But what is, okay. That's you. Okay, but K is 3772. This 1.4. Nine, 3, 9. Oh, it's this movie color. Neat. Okay. Just take one of those. And there's only a little bit of this color, so what I'll do. Just take out a few. Somehow it is almost the end of the month. I don't know how you are on the calendar where you're watching this, but I looked at the calendar today and I'm like, how is this possible? Okay, these are stuck. So what's this other thing? It's 8. What is 8? 8 is 814. What is 814? Because I have 304. Six, 4, 7, 9, 4, 3, 814. That's a real red color. Wow. I don't know how much I'm going to end up using, so put half in.
Come on. Oh my goodness. There we go. So I know I'll talk more about this in my book videos, but I'm getting through a Grady Hendrix book. What's it called? I'll have this right in that video, of course, but it's something hard to remember. It's Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires or something. I generally, I know people love that author. And he doesn't have bad ideas at all. In fact, every single book that I've read from him is based off of me going, oh, that's an awesome idea, and wanting to read because of that. But there's just something about his writing I just don't like. And I think it's his characters. Yeah, so I want to say I'm more than halfway. And I know people very much enjoy that book. They say it's one of the best ones that he's written, but I have to say that it's kind of a slog. I do appreciate that it was an audio file that I had on a book. That it's not an actual, because there's no way that I'd be able to read it word to word in a physical copy. No way, I'd probably fall asleep. To keep my rant going about Grady Hendrix, so probably one of the first books that I read from him was about a haunted IKEA. And of course they had to change the name, so it's not IKEA, but it looks like, the book looked like an old IKEA catalog. And it looked like that. It had kind of a short copy of different items that you could purchase. And yeah, I loved the concept. And with the format being as it was, where it looked like not a manual, a catalog, I loved it. I loved as the thing was getting more haunted, you had more little snippets and copy of a product that was more sinister. I loved it. But I didn't like the story.
I'm like, that's a shame. Then I read one that was about the final girls that survive mass murders. So there's a murderer that sounded a lot like Freddy Krueger. There was a murderer that sounded quite a bit like Jason from Friday the 13th. There was, I can't remember now, it's been a few years. But I remember thinking, I'm like, this is awesome, because I've often wondered about how these people would be after surviving something like this. Like, what kind of PTSD, what kind of coping mechanisms, what kind of things would they experience being a part of the world? Like, how would that happen? And so it was a book based off of that. So I was like, this is awesome. I love this concept. And so I read it and I was like, so I feel that between that book, the one in the haunted IKEA, and this one, I feel that I have a good sample now. And good for you if you like that author. Not for me though. Not for me. So I will go and see who I can really enjoy that has a bunch of books written. I know Christopher Triana, I loved his Gone to See the Rivermen book. I thought that was just so punchy. And it's not the most disturbing book I've read. I would say that it is among the most disturbing books though. And I won't say it's because of something horrific. I would say that there's different types of abuse in that book that just make the whole thing extra disturbing in my mind. I don't know if you agree. But yeah, so I'm looking for my next Christopher Triana. Although he wrote apparently a second Gone to See the Rivermen, I can't say I have any desire. That the first book gave me everything I needed and it ended awesomely. And I don't need any kind of continuation from that story. Because the entire story, no, not the entire story, the entire character development of the story, I will say, is based off of flashbacks. You learn about these characters because of the flashbacks of the characters. And so a prequel, it couldn't be a prequel. It couldn't be before the book existed because we got all that. We got all the important stuff. And I don't, if you've read the book, let me know.
I'm sure I paid something. I think that I'm done with this color. Did I miss anything? No, I don't think so. So day is 3766. I figured that out. Go this way. I know I'm lounging in a undignified way. I don't care. When it comes to crafting, you do you. And be however you're comfortable. Crafting is awesome, and we don't need to ruin it by trying to impress and trying to meet a standard.
what I want to do, and let me know if this is a good idea. I want to, during something like this, when we get together to craft, I kind of want to share a piece of good news of something that's happening in the world. I kind of think that that would be something that I'd like to do. I don't know how you feel. Do you feel that would be a good thing to do? Would you like to hear that? I just find that it's so easy to kind of get sucked in to what everybody is saying about everything, that it's hard to see anything positive, and it's hard to, I don't know, focus on anything good. I'm not saying that there are things that if they're a random circumstance happening somewhere in the world that totally bypasses something that you need to hear about on the news, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, if you're like me and you're doing something to deliberately distract yourself for a little bit, why can't, during that time, you can also have something good? Because I find it really comforting to know that there are places in the world that have no idea what's going on. And that there are places in the world where really awesome things are happening. So what our experience is not the only experience. You can let me know how you feel. I get a tremendous amount of comfort from that. So I want to maybe find a couple of neat things to talk about here, instead of me just flapping my gums on just random whatevers. Not that there'll be a topic per se, but there'll be something that I've read or heard of, or that made my day or made me chuckle, and maybe I'd like to share that with you. And what do you think about that? I feel like I just said that in the most awkward way possible, but hopefully you understand what I'm meaning. So I don't know if anybody there has done this craft before. Where did my thing go? I know I had one. Interesting. The kits used to come with a tweezer, and the new kits have kind of cheapened out for that, but as well as little trays. Oh, there it is. But what I find also is that kits have cheapened out with the amount of sticky whatevers that they give you and the quality of that sticky. And so what I end up having to do is remove the old sticky stuff from my pen and get new stuff. And then when, like, I'll save the stuff that I've removed from the pen. And when that gets big enough to actually use, I'll use that. Because they don't give you the same quantity anymore. They don't give you enough of these little stickies. They also have cheapened out with the trays, so the tray doesn't have the little funnel bit anymore. I mean, if you had a funnel, I guess you could just use the funnel, but I find that it's helpful for when you're wanting to restock your little resin bits. What I like to do when there's a big patch of one color is I like to checkerboard that color and fill it in, because I find that that actually works better with keeping things in a line. And so I guess everybody's out of school now, or soon. What's your summer plans? I don't know if I have any summer plans. But I've said before, summer is not my season.
One thing I should do is I should make my Halloween playlist. I have the Menomina song stuck in my head. That one from the Muppets. I don't know if I can put, oh, what the hell. Yeah, I have that song stuck in my head. That song will not be part of my Halloween playlist. It could be. I mean, your Halloween playlist can be like any other playlist. It's all you. Whatever you want to put on there. So, I don't know if I have it though. I don't know if I have an MP4 file or whatever. have some volunteer stuff I have to do later today. I keep putting it off. I'm procrastinating. It's a super simple process that I have to write out for my volunteer coordinator. That's all of that packet. What is A? 869. What's this color? I have some tea that I made. So I'll drink a tea. Do you have a nice beverage that you've made for yourself? Still quite hot, but definitely enjoyable at this point. Am I already needing more sticky? No. I don't think I have more in me to do more of this. I think that I need to get going on Monday. So I'm going to say goodbye. But we've been crafting for a little while now, and I hope that you've had good progress in your in whatever your craft is. Because I feel like I have a decent head start on my craft. So with that, I'm going to say whatever your day is, whatever the situation that you find yourself today and every day, actually, I hope that you're having and will have the best time. And I will talk to you later.